Well, another weekend coming to a close. Memorial Day. Actually, a long weekend. Today's Monday, Memorial Day. I've been up here since Wednesday evening. Got quite a bit done, though it just never seems to show. You can see from here that everything's mowed and most of it's weed whacked. A few spots I did not get to down there. And of course, that whole bank that you're seeing down there, you can see how steep it is. That has to be weed whacked. And you know, I'm a very frugal guy. And my work shoes that I have on right now were normal everyday shoes of yesteryear. And of course, they're almost worn out. But instead of buying a good pair of shoes for working in, I keep handing these down. But I'm going to tell you, as they get old and your feet stretch them out, not the greatest shoes to be on the hillside like that. So I think I'm going to get myself a pair of work shoes. Strictly work shoes, a good quality pair of work shoes. So that's my complaint. Maybe I'm a little too frugal. So as I'm coming forward, I don't know if you can see the different color trim around the windows. That is the color we chose to stain the cabin. Well, it's a color we chose, but once it was on the cabin, it's a little too orange, but it's a little too late now, so we're going with it, and you'll see on the other side. We also put on eaves troughs, or gutters as they're called today, and of course I could not just put on white gutters. They would stick out. You can see the difference. I spray painted them the color I thought that the stain would be. We probably should have put the stain down first and then match the color, but we didn't. And so there's two sides. These are about 18 feet long on each side. And again, the frugalness in me just comes out in a very natural way that was $150 for those pieces. Of course, there's a downspout that we haven't put in yet because we're going to dig a trench and dump it out off the bank over here. But I was shocked. I'm figuring we'd spend $50 on eave troughs, two 18-footers. So let's go inside and I'll show you. I framed out there's the Big H, ready to go home, load it up. Let's come in for a minute. So the old cabin, take my shoes off. The old cabin only had these front windows in it, as you can see. And of course, we always had air conditioning in them, so it wasn't an issue. But this last few days, I framed, actually, well, I don't know, about 6 months ago, we put in windows in the back, one over there and one here. And this last 4 days, I trimmed out this window here. I don't know if you can see it, it's pretty dark in here. I'm really catching the light. Let me see if I can turn it sideways. But we had to put extension jambs on. This is number 2 pine. And then to come down here, I don't know if you can see it, but I put a landing or a seat with some ears on it. And then a bottom skirt. And scratching my lens here. Again, frugal. I need to buy a new camera. But they came out beautiful, actually. They came out very, very nice. And you can see the nails sticking out. I'm going to remove them to stain them. They're all in one piece, other than the extension jambs. So it's much easier to stain that way instead of getting it all over the wall or trying to keep it off the wall. So we're ready to go. But now let's just take a walk out here. I'll leave my work shoes behind, my wonderful beat up work shoes, and get on my regular shoes to go home with. Let me grab my glasses. Sorry for the delay. Then I've got all the curtains up. And then we'll come out here. I'll show you what the last thing we did, which took us at least a day just to do this. But you can see everything's mowed. It looks pretty nice. Looks very nice, actually. It looks great when it's mowed. One of these days we're going to burn that pile down there. Still fearful of it. But here we are. The color of the building. What do you think? Needs another coat. I did a lot of reading on it. I put down oil base, a true oil base first. And then they say to put a water base over it because a water base has a much better UV protection. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. They have the same color in a water base. But you can see the bottom two pieces. I did put a second coat on them. Not the very bottom. The very bottom is a framing, but the next two. And put multiple coats around the trim. You can see that stands out a bit too. Again, there's my $75 eave trough gutter. And what else did we do? We did a bunch of other things. I just can't come up with them. More stones for the rock garden. Well, I guess that's it. The flowers are holding out well. Oh, we had a woodchuck chewing on the bottom of the cabin. I tried to get rid of him. I think I scared him off, I hope. Probably not, but anyway. I guess until next time. We had great weather. And oh, Memorial Day, right? Thank you, Father, for the troops and the country that you've given us. All right, until next time.